Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today, I have so many I can't remember all their names. I know we have Ken and Samantha and
Danelle.
Not Danelle, not Danelle, right?
Danelle.
Okay, so
Yes.
they're going to introduce themselves, and they're from Warren County High School, and Samantha's from the Reaching Out. So they have this program ready to go here for November the 18th, and it's called Warren County Public Schools Senior Planning Night. It's a mouthful and it's long, but it's really a cool event, and so we're going to talk about that. So introduce yourself first. I know everybody knows who you are if they go to Warren County.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My name is Ken Knesh. I'm the principal of Warren County High School.
He's a hard worker too, because we were at the graduation. He was out there cleaning up all the bleachers and wiping the water down. So
Yeah. I got to keep everything straight.
He was straight. He
got
was
to
in
keep
charge.
straight. Yep.
And we know Samantha.
Samantha Barber with Reaching Out Now.
And I'm Danelle Sperling, and I'm the principal at Skyline High School.
She did the honor society thing there with my grandson was in it, so
Yes,
I remember
sir.
that. There we go. All right. So Samantha, do you want to start?
Sure. So we are having our first senior planning night, and this year is going to be hosted in Warren County High School. And what we're going to be doing, we've invited families of seniors and juniors.
Seniors.
From Warren County High School, Skyline High School, to just talk about post-secondary planning. And we're also going to be having a panel discussion, which is really amazing. We have 7 colleges that's coming to do a panel discussion. We also have someone from the military, and our very own local EMT and fire department will be there also to talk to the kids about post-secondary planning.
It kind of sounds like almost a job fair. I mean,
Well, we have one of those. That's
Yes,
on Friday.
that's next.
That's on Friday, the 19th.
so if you don't want to do the secondary planning, well, we got something for you. You can do immediately. Right?
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
So what?
Yeah.
So we're going to have this. So what's the ultimate goal of this?
The ultimate goal is to support our counseling team. Reaching Out Now heart is for the students and families in our public school system. We have the meal program,
Sure.
which is starting tomorrow. And we have other events, throughout the school year to support our families and our teachers. So this is part of our empowerment program, where we are not just looking at the students in our leadership program, but looking at our seniors and, being a support to our counselors. COVID has been crazy. And our kids have lost 16 months of school. And
Almost like they've got PTSD or something
Yeah.
in school. But we were talking about that today, about the depression that comes over people, and you're just like, well, I don't really want to do anything,
Right.
And I think this, and also it sounds like this program is to give encouragement to students that maybe never even thought about secondary, or like they can't afford it, and they realize
Exactly.
that there's tons of programs out there.
Yes.
And this should give them some insight into saying, hey, no, we want you to come. So.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why with the panel discussion, we are having James Madison University and we're having LFCC there. So it's not just post-secondary as far as colleges, because we know not all kids go to college, right?
Sure.
So just having LFCC is going to talk about trades.
If you want a really good paying job, you go
Yeah.
into the trades.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're exactly right.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to be feeding them.
Of course.
So,
And I
yeah.
told Sam, I said, if you feed them, they'll come. And they said, as soon as they announced that, they had a lot of registrations. So,
Yeah, so we're going to have a dinner for the families, from 5:30 to 6. And we're going to be giving out 2 scholarships. But the scholarships is for a senior that's attending Warren County High School and a senior that's attending Skyline High School.
Okay.
The juniors who are coming,
They have to wait.
you have to wait.
They'll get it next year.
They'll get it
They'll have
next
an
year.
opportunity.
Yes.
what kind of scholarship is this? I mean, is it just a cash scholarship?
It's a cash scholarship. Whether it's you going into the trades or you're going to post-secondary, well, it's LFCC or 4-year, that money would be set aside for you in an account, and that will go to the college or post or trade school or wherever it is you're going next year.
Can't
We'll
use
send
it to buy a
directly.
car. I mean,
No, sorry. It has to be post-secondary planning.
I know that every year when they hand out these scholarships that you do at your schools, you say, well, $500, $1,000, $1,500. But there's a lot of them. I mean, the list was
Yes.
quite long. When you add them all up, it was a lot of money. And
Yeah.
several students received multiple scholarships. And it's amazing how much money. It does go a long way. $500 doesn't sound like much, but that pays for your books for a year or more
does.
sometimes.
It does. It
Yeah, so
definitely
it's
does.
a huge expense. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and being able to offer that to each of us students is just absolutely amazing. From where we started to where we are now as an organization
right,
to
right.
support our community is amazing to do that.
It's a lot of work. I know you do a lot of work in the community, and there's just so many people that doing that. Not just your organization, but a lot of them. And of course, here at the Royal Examiner, we've seen those that happen. So how are you fitting into this, other than you're just going to be like eating and talking to
Not
people?
at all.
Well, we have been partnering with Reaching Out Now, and both schools, the Warren County Public Schools have partnered with this wonderful organization, and really Samantha has been like the spearhead of this, really
Sure.
trying to get this program up and running. I just love that we're offering options to students and families and giving them access to information that they may not otherwise have access to. And I really like that it's not just like a college planning night. It's really it's so many options, and we
Right.
recognize that students are going into perhaps the military or the trades or a four-year college.
What
So
they say, it's the graduation is not the end, but the beginning.
yes.
And this is where they're going to get this information, because of course, I can remember high school. That was 50, 60 years ago. But it's true. Sometimes, you don't really pay attention, or, only seems like select students, the guidance counselor, because, mom and dad are sending them to college, and I don't feel like I'm not going anywhere. But it's good to be able to have choices and just be aware of things that are out there. And I would say most of these students don't really realize the opportunities that they have.
No, very true. When I was talking to Lacey from from LFCC today, we were talking about, so many of our students, unfortunately, are on free and reduced lunch, and they literally can get a 2-year degree for free. Just through applying for financial aid, they can get the full Pell Grant, and if your GPA is at a right amount, right limit, you can go to one of our Virginia schools, public schools, UVA, even our private school, University of Richmond, at a minimal cost. So
One thing good I like about the community college program, the way I understand it, and is that you get your associate degree, and you're pretty much guaranteed a seat at any one of our state schools. Is
yes,
that,
that is
you
very
don't
true.
have to go through SAT. We don't care about what your SAT score is.
Right.
You got that degree. If you just got the credits, doesn't mean anything, but you got to have a degree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to have that
That's a
degree.
great, I mean, that really opens the door for people that might be on that, trying to compete. They've got a guaranteed seat at the table.
They
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
It's-
And I always talk to the
yeah.
kids, you've got a low GPA in high school, but you can go to Lord Fairfax, and then your GPA in high school, it doesn't matter. If they
right.
focus on that LFCC, and then
Exactly.
you get a little bit more mature, you're paying for the school, you're traveling to school, and you do much better at that LFCC, and you're in that 4-year college
Right,
that you tried to get into. So,
Definitely. That guaranteed transfer, that we have here with our
that's,
Virginia
that's
schools.
a great opportunity.
great
My
opportunity.
my kids used it, and I think they got a couple of associate degrees. They just kept going,
Yeah.
and never really transferred to a 4-year. One of them just, I don't know, she got 3 or 4 associate degrees. I don't know. Well, I like that. Well, I like that. And
Yeah.
so she just kept taking classes, and
Yeah.
and then one of them went on and transferred. In fact, finished her bachelor's all online. I mean, that's another opportunity that. She worked full time, raised 3 kids, and finished her degree. So
Yeah.
you can do it. You can
Definitely.
do it. It's just a lot more opportunities now. But I wasn't aware of that you could do it. And she was telling me what she was doing. I said, "What, really?" And then she went on and got her master's online, and her husband got his master's online, his second one online.
Yeah.
In fact, they're overseas working, and that's when they did it. So it's just the technology. As you know, you've got to experience that last
Yeah.
couple years,
Yes.
and it's always changing. And I think that and part of this too is making the parents aware, because sometimes parents
Yes.
can be discouraged. I really can't help my kids, and I really feel bad because we just can't afford it.
Yeah, and this is why we want to do this.
yeah, and
This is
that's
we're
why
doing this.
my favorite part is the panel Q&A, because Sam was talking earlier that like the amount of questions and the variance in those questions, like some are asking, how do I schedule a visit to a college?
Right.
How do I apply, or all of those different questions. And sometimes the parents have more questions than the kids.
Yeah.
And so having colleges there to answer those questions, I think is going to be a really fun experience for everyone.
Well, and we'll go back to the community colleges. Think about it. You can live at home, which I know you don't want to do, but save that money, work part-time, go to LFCC, get your associate degree, transfer to any in-state school for in-state tuition without worrying about it. And you'll have enough money then that you can afford some of it, because room and board is what is as much as the tuition or more.
Right, and so if you transfer to one of these 4-year schools after 2 years, some of those schools, they require freshmen to live on campus.
Exactly.
So if you come into there as a sophomore, as a junior,
Exactly.
you don't have to live on campus.
right.
You can
That's
immediately get an apartment and everything like that and not have to deal with dorm life.
Exactly. And it's true, when you transfer, you come in as a junior if you have a 2-year degree. And I mean, that's really where college starts. And I tell that people all the time, really, college is only 2 years. They want you to get things that you didn't do in high school the first 2 years and go to community college, and then we can train you in a couple years. And that's really, is really where it's at. But people don't, they look at that 4 and 5 year program, and of course the internships, there's tons of, just amazing now that's available that we weren't when you went to college.
I know when I went to college.
I always tell people, I have 234 college credits and no degree. So what does that tell you? I went to a lot of community colleges. But when you mentioned the military, I went in the military after school and went to a lot of college, and all that training is now with the Community College of the Air Force. Give me a lot of my credits, and they're fully accredited, just like so. There's a lot of opportunities, and the military today is a lot different than it was when I went in, and so it's a lot of opportunities, and a lot of opportunities for women that were not available before, and it's a great. I tell people, you want a real job, just go in the military and join the Air Force like I did. It's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Most jobs. But no, I recommend it. College, if you're suited for it, the trades, try something. I told my son, I said when he dropped out he was going to the University of Arizona, and we were out there, and he was taking quantum physics and all these crazy things, and he just didn't know what he wanted to do, so he dropped. And I said, why didn't you just take basket weaving? No one asks you what your degree's in, He said, well, now you tell me. So these are advice, people need to do is take something you enjoy, because you can change it.
Yeah,
and
a lot
part of this
kids,
college, unless you're going into engineering or medical, most degrees just want someone that can get along with people, learn how to communicate, and work hard. And these degrees, a lot of these degrees will do that for you. And then if you want a specialty, then you can tweak that a little bit as you go along. No one asks you what your degree is.
Yeah, a lot of kids, they don't realize that when you go into college that you can go in undecided.
Yes, you can. You don't have to have a program. You can be undecided. Especially
they don't encourage it. But,
general studies. That's what.
General studies.
General
That's it,
studies.
general
Yeah.
studies.
We used to call that liberal arts, but we don't use that. I don't. Maybe around educators, but we don't like to use that word liberal around here too much. But anyway, I guess I'm outnumbered. I got educators here. So. But anyway, it's just a great opportunity. I think people should take advantage of it. They can still register.
Yes, they can register on the school website, or they can go to our reachingoutnow.org website under events, and it's there.
Okay.
But it's definitely available.
All right, I'll put that link under the story so people can go and click there and register as well. So we can
Fabulous.
still register.
Yes.
It's on November the 18th. It starts at, let's say it starts at 5:30 because that's when the food starts.
Yes.
And it's going to have a spaghetti dinner. You can't go wrong with.
And you can't go wrong with Chef Devin Smith cooking.
No,
Yes.
never can go
Absolutely.
wrong.
Can't go wrong.
So it'll be at the Warren County High School gym, and it starts at 5:30 on the 18th. So that's really good. That's a Thursday
Actually, the
night.
cafeteria.
Oh, it's
We'll
in the
start in the
cafeteria.
Start in the
cafeteria.
cafeteria.
Yeah,
Right.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Then we'll do the
the
setup in the
And we'll
auditorium.
sit in the auditorium.
the auditorium.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
so we
not the
revised
gym.
that a little bit. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so they give me old information.
They don't want us to eat in the gym.
No.
No,
No.
We're gonna have the cafeteria.
You don't want to
Cafeteria.
eat in the gym.
No. So it's the cafeteria, and then we go down to the auditorium.
It's
for the
a
panel
beautiful
discussion.
auditorium at your
Yes.
high school.
Yeah.
Both schools.
Yes.
Both schools are
Beautiful.
very
Yes.
nice. And,
Yeah.
Warren County's better, right? No, I just,
Yeah.
only because he's sitting close to me and he can
I
kick
see.
me. But anyway, it's a great service that you're doing in your organization, and I know that you're concerned about your students. My grandson goes to your school and doesn't go to your school, but I hear good things anyway. But they like it, and they really enjoy it, and so I think most people I talk to, there's always one or two kids come in here and they're skipping school or whatever. I said, you don't realize the mistake you're making.
Right.
And, you know, change classes, do something, and enjoy, put your head down, because this is only going to get worse. I mean, if you don't get it now,
Right.
you know, so it's a lot of work.
A word you've said a lot is opportunities, and I think that's the coolest part about this is connecting our amazing students that we have
Right.
with opportunities that they may not be aware of. So, and their families as well, just connecting them with all of the opportunities that they have available to them. So,
What they say, information is
Yes.
power.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I think that's where we need to make it, you know, it's just a click away. And we should be able to take advantage of it. And like you say, when we have about 200 and some students, what do we have in each school, about 200?
Seniors?
Seniors.
Yeah, I'd say about 200, between 200 225 students, seniors in
Yeah.
each graduating
Yeah,
class.
so,
I'd say.
you know, if we can get half of them to show up, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be, and that's why we've come together to do this. You know,
Right.
for us, there's not a better partnership.
Right. Even
Than
if
a
you
public
think you know
school.
where you're going, and you think you're already going to go to school somewhere, it doesn't hurt to come to this just to get a second opinion, you know,
Yeah.
or just to find out some information that maybe you weren't aware of.
And maybe get that 250 or however much money the scholarship is.
Scholarship.
And if you're on the fence and you've already got money towards college, that's going to push you over the fence.
Exactly.
So that's going to be pretty cool too.
So it's opportunity. So remember, it's Thursday, November the 18th, starts at 5:30 at Warren County High School, and it's called Warren County Public Schools Senior Planning Night. So if you're thinking about, well, if you're a graduating senior, you need to go. Simple as that. There's no planning about it. I mean, you need a plan. Without a plan, you're going to fail. So,
Definitely,
you know,
definitely.
that's what we want.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're even inviting our juniors, families as
Right.
well to come out.
It's never
Yeah.
too early
It's
to
never
plan.
too early. Yeah. Yeah.
It's always something good, and information is power. So I think it's great that you're doing this, and I know you do a lot of great work, and I know all of you do. It's hard, you know, shuffling all them kids around. I don't know how you do it. I substitute teacher for 3 days, and they never asked me back. So I won't, you know. Anyway, we won't go there. So, again, remind everyone, please, if you're a junior or senior or a parent of a junior and senior, please register for this. We'll put the link below the video. Just click on that and go to it. It's November the 18th. And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you.
I appreciate the
Thank you.
opportunity to help you share it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.